Frederick Douglass was one of very few African slaves that knew how to read and write, and when he wrote the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, it provided an accurate, inside look into slavery that had rarely been published in the past. It became one of very few published works that can state authoritatively what slavery was like from the viewpoint of a former slave.
Okay, when I think of Black history and what Black history means to me, I think of a number of things. I think about the pride that I have in my unique heritage. I think about what I represent and what the generations ahead of me represent.
Americans still believe in America, where anything's possible. They just don't think they're leaders. I am Barack Obama.
Barack Obama is the 44th President of the United States and the first African American president. His story is the American story. Values from the heartland, a middle-class upbringing in a strong family, hard work and education as the means of getting ahead, and the conviction that a life so blessed should be lived in service to others.
Black history is an opportunity to take a look at the events that cannot be denied in history, but take a viewpoint of an African American and how they view history.
Don't follow the path. Go where there is no path and start. I am Ruby Bridges.
Ruby Bridges is an American activist known for being the first Black child to attend an all-white elementary school in New Orleans, Louisiana in 1960. White parents were so outraged they pulled their children out and all teachers refused to teach while a Black child was enrolled. Ruby became the only child enrolled in the school for an entire school year.
A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. I am Malcolm X.
Malcolm X, born Malcolm Little in 1925, was an African-American Muslim minister and a human rights activist. He was a courageous advocate for the rights of Blacks and has been called one of the greatest and most influential African Americans in history.
Years ago, a friend of mine asked me to say some MC rhyme. We are Run DMC.
Run DMC was an American hip-hop group from Hollis, Queens, New York, founded by Joseph Ron Simmons, Daryl DMC McDaniels, and Jason Jam Master J. Mazzell. The group was among the first to highlight the importance of the MC and DJ relationship. In 2004, Rolling Stone ranked them number 48 in their list of the greatest musical artists of all time.
Life is challenging, but I'm always up for a challenge. I am Venus Williams. Everyone's dream can come true if you just stick to it and work hard. I am Serena Williams.
Venus Williams and Serena Williams are sisters and two professional American tennis players. Venus is a 7-time Grand Slam title winner, and Serena is a 17-time Grand Slam title winner, both of whom were coached from an early age by their parents, Richard Williams and Oracene Price.
It isn't a disgrace to not reach for stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for. I am Benjamin E. Mays.
Benjamin Elijah Mays was a United States minister, educator, scholar, social activist, and the president of Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia from 1940 to 1967. Mays was also a significant mentor to civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. and was among the most articulate and outspoken critics of segregation before the rise of the modern civil rights movement in the United States.
Beauty is more than what you see. It's what's deep inside that matters. My name is Beverly Johnson, the first African American supermodel.
Beverly Johnson is an American model, actress, and businesswoman. She made history when she rose to fame as the first black model to appear on the cover of American Vogue in August 1974.
Black history means to me a legacy for my family. Black history teaches me about myself, it teaches me about my family, and it teaches me about where I came from.
I never looked at myself and said I need to be a certain way to be a certain sort of people. I've always tried to stay true to myself, and I have managed to do that. And people just have to accept that. I am Jay-Z.
Born Sean Corey Carter, Jay-Z is an American rapper, record producer, and an entrepreneur. He is one of the most financially successful hip-hop artists and entrepreneurs in America. In 2012, Forbes estimated Carter's net worth at nearly $500 million.
Be courageous and strong and don't. I am the real Gabby
Gabrielle Christina Victoria Douglas is an American artistic gymnast. As a member of the U.S. women's gymnastics team at the 2012 Summer Olympics, she won gold medals in both the individual all-around and team competitions. Douglas is the first African American gymnast in Olympic history to become the individual all-around champion and the first American gymnast to win gold in both the individual, all-around, and team competitions at the same Olympics, as well as being the only American all-around champion to win multiple gold medals.
Black history means reflecting on the things that have shaped us and the things that have made us to be the people who we are today.
I never cut class. I love getting A's. I like being smart. I like being on time. I think being smart is cooler than anything in the world. I am Michelle Obama.
Michelle LaVaughn Robinson Obama is an American lawyer and writer and is the wife of the 44th and current President of the United States, Barack Obama. She is the first African American First Lady of the United States of America.
Today, there are people trying to take away rights that our mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers fought for. Our right to vote, our right to choose, affordable quality education, equal pay, access to health care. We the people can't let that happen. I am Carrie Washington.
Carrie Marissa Washington is an American actress and a graduate of George Washington University. She is a member of the Creative Coalition, which is a board of actors, writers, musicians, and producers that explore issues that are forefront of national discourse. She is also a member of V-Day, a global movement that brings awareness to violence against women and girls.
Black history means to me heritage, culture. It's a group of people who have struggled, came through their struggles, have been successful.
It's never too late for a person to recognize that they have potential in themselves.
Dr. Benjamin Solomon Carson Sr. is a columnist and a retired American neurosurgeon. He is credited with being the first surgeon to successfully separate conjoined twins joined at the head. In 2008, he was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President George W. Bush.
When I think of Black history, it gives me a sense of pride to know from where we have come from to where we are, and we are still pushing to become better as a country for our young people.
With so much treasure, they are believed the first time. I am Maya.
Dr. Maya Angelou is a poet, educator, historian, best-selling author, actress, playwright, civil rights activist, producer, and director. She is one of the most renowned and influential voices of our time.
Each person must live their life as a model for others. I am Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks was an African-American civil rights activist whom the United States Congress called the First Lady of Civil Rights and the Mother of the Freedom Movement. Mrs. Parks, in 1955, refused to give up her seat to a white man and was the first person to resist bus segregation.
Black history means more than just celebrating great contributions of Black people in the month of February. When I was a little girl, my mom gave me Black history flashcards, and on those flashcards were faces of great Black people who had done great things for America and for the world. And one of my favorite cards was Mary McLeod Bethune. And I read her card over and over again, and I knew that she started her own school with $1.50, and that she was an excellent teacher and she wanted to do things to help children. And she eventually went on to work for the president in his Office of Education. And seeing her and knowing her story let me know as a little girl that I could one day be a teacher and teach children and help them be great contributors to the world. And so for Black history, I hope that you learn about people that inspire you to go on and do great things. You might not want to be a teacher. You might want to be an astronomer like Benjamin Banneker, or you might want to be an astronaut like Mae Jemison. Whatever it is that you want to be, I hope you find someone who looks like you, who comes from a place where you come from, who has a story similar to yours, who made a difference, who did something great. And that's what Black history means to me. Finding and knowing about people who have done great things, who will inspire you to do great things, so that people that come after you, your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, will be able to look at you as awesome contributors to Black history. And that's what Black history means to me.